Oh, God. I almost died. Welcome. Feedback stream 81. Wow. That's a lot of streams of feedback. I'm loving it. We have some songs picked out here that we're going to be listening to, and we're going to give some feedback. Remember, join my Discord. The invite link will be in the chat, and you can submit for next stream. Pretty streams every Monday. And hashtag live WIP feedback is where you're going to post SoundCloud links. Cool? Easy? Done deal? I'll be in the chat periodically. Here is the link. Brutal, what's good, dude? Nice to see you are here. Welcome. We have first in line. Some of these were broken links, so like this one, for example, we'll have to resubmit. Theirs was broken. Let's double check. Okay, so SoundCloud links. Remember, guys, first in line, we got Yeah Boy with a squishy and Yunit, the Booze Bandits. Am I saying that right? Yeah Boy bootleg. What do we have here? Let's get into some musics. Get ready, guys. Run it.
I only drink alcohol on days that start with a T. So that's Tuesday, Thursday. Today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Monday. Are you happy now?
So we're gonna pull up millimeters.
Use
All right, cool. We got a little bootleg here. This is pretty decent. You know, energy levels are not the highest, but they're there, and we love to see it. So let's go ahead and look into this. Also, this sounds like almost like sub frequencies. The low frequencies are starting to go to the sides.
You stupid for this.
This fake out is pretty quiet at -12 left. And the song itself is like at -8. So it's pretty just quiet, low volume, especially compared to the OG song. You can tell there's a difference in volume level, energy levels. So you kind of want to get that a little bit louder, around -6, maybe even louder if you want to push it to like -4. You can really start to get crazy. Also, like during these sections, it's like almost, it feels like it's restarting or something's looping. It feels very unnatural when it loops back. Maybe some sidechain issues or fading issues, timing issues. You want to check into that. Overall, call and response and the flow is pretty minimal. There's not much movement going on here. It's the same thing. Boom, 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 boom. There should be more than just that. That starts to get pretty repetitive over time. These pitch bends going up and down, it's nice to have, but we need more going on if people are going to dance heavier and harder. Now this is cool, but it starts to get really muddy and messy in the mix. It's like that background sound is almost being sustained, and it sounds like all the frequency spectrum is filled and nothing really has a place. So you want to carve out frequencies using EQ so that everything has its own place and fits together well. Because right here, we have cool flows, but it's being interrupted by, you know, clashing frequencies and congestion in the mix. It's a sustain bass playing with it, sounds like. So just be careful if you're picking a sussy. Choose a higher frequency sustain bass so that it can blend well with your lower mid frequency bass. I think that's about it. Otherwise, good job. Decent track. You love to see a squishy. I like squishy alive. Sick. Nice bootleg. I think I'm going to be leaving the chat like this. Scratch, what's good? How's it going? And Bruto, things have been going good, man. Really good. Everything's been going afire. Up next in line, we got Dunder Chief, Banjo Fooey, Master Project 1. Let's go. Who is the Banjo Fooey? Join the Discord. Hey. was fire. Good job. Banjo Fooey. The Master Project 1. Roses, what's good? Yeah, so this sounded nice. Mix, sounding clean, good. We have some sick ethereal wubs, and the overall dynamics is awesome. Us being able to feel the waves and feel the differences and loud and quiet and feel the atmosphere and still have space remaining in the mix is important. All these nice fill sections, good flow. Very good flow, very just like psychedelic, and you stop listening and you just start feeling. That's the zone you want to be in. It starts to get crazier on the second drop, and almost sounds like some sections are too sustained and starting to get a little bit crowded. We have so much great waves and dynamics in the first drop, and this drop doesn't have as much. The sustain just keeps going for a very long time, and there should be, some breaks from it, more waves going on, different automation ramps, and anything to just keep the movement going. Sounds like it's just being filtered. Which is pretty cool, but it's loud the whole time, so breaks, like silent breaks, will make it feel like there's even more flow and movement with such a long bass here. Yeah, it just kind of sounds like it's just playing and not really flowing with anything, so check into that too. Very small things. Overall, the mix is sounding really nice and clean, and this first drop is amazing. All the drums, the flows, the grooves, the rhythms, feels really nice. Yeah, nice fills, nice memes. It's just a good time. You love to see it. You love to see it. We are going into Wub Century. We're bringing back all those old school dubs and wubs that dubstep used to have when it first started. And Skrillex completely changed it and made it go like super heavy, super melodic, make it go pop. It just evolved into everything. Now we're going back to the wubs, going back to the roots. I love those roots. How old is my lame ass job, LO? But at least I get to listen to some badass tunes here. Yes, sir. It's tune time. Who's next in line? Flipper, I believe, had a broken link. I'm going to double check. Yes. Next is Eek Beats with Versatile Minds. Version 1, by the way. We don't have any bad versions. We only have a version 1s. Let's go. Nice. Very cool. Unique. I really like these like keys or plucks or whatever. Feels like you're going on a night ride or something, you know, it's like soothing. Feels really nice. Honestly, it kind of felt like the drop, like it took a long time for the drop to appear and happen. It's like a minute 30, minute 40 actually, until we actually drop it. The transition here from like the build up to the drop also feels a little bit unnatural. It gets really quiet here. And when we do these huge dynamic shifts, they should be pretty strategic, you know? Like when we're cutting the volume here, it doesn't really feel like we're about to get hit from the drop. It feels like it's just getting quiet, but then the drop just like comes and there's not really anything like moving us or throwing us into the drop. Just gets quiet and then boom, drop plays. So the overall transition is making the drop feel less energetic. And that's an issue. Also, one thing about this song is it's very focused on the melody in the drop. It's not really focused at all on any cool dubstep basses. It's like a melodic song almost. The reason is because the basses are that boom, boom. They're wide and they're thin and they're not present in the mix, while the melodic keys like dun 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 dun, those are loud and clear and full and big. So that is essentially the star of the show. He has the spotlight and the other bass is like in the background. And the bass isn't really doing much to add support. There's a lot of low frequencies on the side, so it's kind of muddying up the mix. And it should be mono. There should be a strong bass presence to complement all the high frequencies that are coming from those melodic sounds. Especially here, the bass is trying to play with everything. It becomes an issue. Our sub is it's looped up. The sub is like boom, 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 boom. It's working, but it's just slow. You know, you could be adding a lot more variation to the bass line and the sub during the drop to add more flow, more bounce, get us dancing more. Really, the more movement, the better, in keeping it as clean as possible, too. But I think that's about it. I like these vibes here. Or these vibes right here are crazy. Super sick. But like this bass line doesn't give us enough movement. It's taking up a lot of the mix and it's just pretty static. So just remember, huge sections like these with no vocals, no lead, they need to either be at having us dance a lot, making us groove and move, or it needs a lead, like a vocal or a synth lead, you know. Otherwise, it sounds pretty empty and it's dragging on. It's not really, there's not much content here. It's just the drum loop and the sub. So just, you know, fill things up. These sections obviously can be like this. But anything before, we need to add energy. Cool. Good job. Nicely done. Good vibes. Good vibes. We got looks like a Drip Battle 24 full track. Oh, my Lord have mercy. We got Wags coming in with Gunslinger WIP. Drip Battle 24 full track. That's what I like to see. That is what I like to see today. Next up, Wags. Let's go.
Crush 'em. Hit it.
What's up, Colby? Colby said, love how cinematic it is. I say, I agree to all that. Whoa. Whoa. Fire. Good job. Wags is coming in with a heater quickly and unconditionally. I mean, overall, this is very good. There's a lot of mixing issues, though, which is making this song sound way lower quality than it should be. We want things to sound as loud, as clear. They need, like, as possible. They need to have full clarity. And the whole goal of all this is to get things really loud, but sound clean at the same time. With this, we got it really loud. We have great sounds, sound design, great composition, song arrangement, amazing music theory going on. We have like a very emotional story being told in a cinematic environment. But once we get to the drop, it's so loud and all the sounds are like clashing together, creating mud. And it seems like there's not a lot of EQ going on in the correct locations so that we can take away the mud and let things blend together. So 100 hertz to 300 hertz is the mud range. We're only talking about frequency spectrum right now, lows, mids, and highs. We're not even talking about the stereo image yet, which is mono and stereo, which are the sides. Basically, all this area from 100 to 300. Even Ableton, look at the back of EQ8. These bigger sections. Ableton is like telling us even like this is a problematic area. Same thing around 1,000. But if a lot of frequencies start building up here, it's an issue. And that's what's happening right now in your song. A lot of basses are playing this frequency at the same time. You have to be careful. Only pick like 1 or 2, or you can maybe do 3, but you just got to use EQ a lot. You know, you can make these dips like this, or you can cut them out completely. Usually 175 is the sweet spot. And then you can go up all the way to 300 for a cut. And then on the sides, we don't want anything low or low mids on the sides. The sides usually should be reserved for like higher frequencies so you can keep it clean. Right now, we got a lot of clashing, muddy frequencies, 100 to 300 hertz. Make sure you look into that. We also are getting some irregular, like it's very loud in the intro, and it's unnatural for your intro to be this loud. We're at -4 LUFS, and this isn't the drop. This is very, very loud for an intro section. We want to preserve some dynamics here. If we look at it, even when you zoom out, it starts to brick up and become a brick of sound. It seems like over compression is an issue that may be going on a lot here. If you're using a compressor, you got to be careful how you use it. Just throwing on an OTT is never the way to go, because it's going to squash the sound, make it sound thin. It will kill the dynamics and make it a straight line like this. Same thing with your basses too. Some of your basses, like the lasers, a lot of the lasers are feeling like they're starting to get thin. So make sure that lows, mids, highs are covered for in your layers, and you're not over compressing so that the dynamics are preserved. We don't want it to sound thin or over compressed. Just want it to have enough heavy compression. We're always on a fine line when it comes to dubstep. So one of the main things too is in your build up, like so much of this is good. We just need extra layers. When this is starting to build up, there should be a huge presence of drums. Just tap, 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 tap. Like just think of the festival. Think of people getting ready for the drop. There are huge, heavy snares, claps, faster snares in the background. Like everything you can to build as much energy as possible, because this is the type of song that needs it. Without it, it's low energy in this buildup, which is literally the opposite of what you're going for. All of these layers, everything you put down here screams energy. So we need it. Yeah, like this is just not a proper build-up. Lots of great sounds, but we barely have any build-up drums. So once this build-up starts, big snares, ta, 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 all kinds of different claps, snares, percussions, things rising in pitch with drums. We need those to add a lot of energy, and it's going to help. Okay, yeah, so just you're going to have to look at each individual layer, look at what frequencies are playing, make sure you take out all mud, and start blending your sounds together, because you're really loud, there's good sounds, but things are not arranged in a cleanliness way. It's a bit dirty. It's a bit muddy. Gotta take a little bath. All right, cool. Hit me up if you need any help with that. Otherwise, great job on the vibes and the energy and the emotion. It's one of the most important parts of music, so you're knocking that out quickly. Good job, Wags. Up next, we got Disintegrate, or Oliver Synthcat Archive. I think this is Disintegrate. Yeah, disintegrate. Cool. With the tear out ID. Colby said this is an insane project. Damn. What project? What you mean? What you mean, mister? Tear out ID. Let's go.
Disintegrate.
Yep. Very heavy, very cool in such a short amount of time. You love to see that amount of energy. The overall like drums though were way louder than the guns and stuff. And usually the drums are like perfect loudness. So you're probably going to want to get these guns rebalanced with the drums and see what's going on. Because we don't want the drum and the kick and the snare to be so loud compared to your guns and your synths. But overall energy, good fake outs. This is nice. I think it's pretty heavy. Sub sounds nice. Guns sound cool. Definitely are working with something. The screaming voice being sustained is awesome touch. Yeah, it's just pretty fucking heavy, man. Make sure you add your clippers. Make sure nothing's clipping, redlining. Check all your levels. If this is balanced with the drums, it's going to be nice. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Colby. We could bring up everything else to match the drums, but we're already at -3, -2.5 LUFS, basically. So it might be the drums being like over compressed, over saturated. Maybe there's like loudness effects on the drums, making it too loud. I'm trying to figure out what's going on there. Very unbalanced. It's super dry. Space fillers. Turn the drums down a bit. Nice heavy tear out things. Nice heavy tear out things. I will be right back. I'm going to use the restroom. One intermission. Are we back in action? My green screen fell down. I got to fix that shit. We're good to go. Up next in 9, who we got? This was also a broken link. Lots of broken links. Lots of broken links. Lots of broken links. Next up in line, Colium. The Subfiltronic Pass Out Colium Flip Edit 1. You really love to see it. I thought we had Edit 3, but no, we got Edit 1. So we're good to go on that front. We're going to get back to the chat, get back to Bableton. Let's go ahead and check it out. What a one time.
1, 2, Scullion.
Where we at?
Scully. We're gonna drink to the morning. 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 Then do it again, let's do it again, let's do it again. Pass out. Pass out, then do it again, let's pass out. Pass out, then do it again, let's pass out. Pass out, then pass out, then pass out, then pass out. I'm Scully and Shades, top of the morning. Dick in your girl's mouth while she's yawning. Call this the warning, no time to waste you, I'ma go all in. Who's the hardest? You're a target. Spacey, swagger's the sharpest. Fuck them boys who thought we was past it, dickhead. You're gonna eat them words, cause your boy said I mean in the verse. Scallion, that's my word, go kush, got my head in the sky like a bird. Friends wanna see me locked down like a bird. I ain't out for second or third. Man United, see I'm used to the top smoke. I'm over your head like a good lob. I want cash and a big wad and a thick light to sit on the big knob. Make the ass go tick tock. You make MCs better stick to your day job, cause I got a flow like a headshot. See I'm a small player, you make the bench hot. Young guns surround me like Walker. So the haters want me to stop, but I will not. Swagger stands out. To the bar, let's get the drinks in. Yeah, the night is still young, so let the madness begin, darling. I said, where's your BB? Fuck that, I don't want your kid. Yeah, we're gonna drink to the morning. Pass out and do it again, let's do it again. The swagger stands out. To the bar, let's get the drinks in. Yeah, the night is still young, so let the madness begin, darling. I said, where's your BB? Fuck that, I don't want your kid. Yeah, we're gonna drink to the morning. Pass out and do it again. 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 Pass out and 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 drop it like it's hot. I'm Scully and Shades, top of the morning. Dick in your girl's mouth while she's yawning. Call this the warning, no time to waste you, I'ma go all in. Who's the hardest? You're a target. Spacey, swagger's the sharpest. Fuck them boys who thought we was past it. You're gonna eat them words. I don't want your kid. Yeah, we're gonna drink to the morning. Pass out and do it again, let's 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 pass out and do it again, let's.
All right, cool. We got a Subfiltronic Pass Out Flip. I haven't heard the original song, and I think I need to check it out because I want to know if you added the guitars. Actually, you could tell me, did you add those guitars yourself or those guitars from the original? I have a hard time believing Subfiltronic would put guitars in the song. Where is it? All right, let me look at the chat. Did you respond? Let's check. Original, some OG rhythm. Yeah, I added them. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, so honestly, the guitars feel very out of place. It feels like a whole different genre. And trying to mix it with such a heavy song. Like, we've heard these vocals a lot, and they're associated with rhythm and dubstep a lot. So hearing this guitar, the feeling that you get from the guitar doesn't match all of that. And you're also making a dubstep song, so it's like a dark vibe. It becomes pretty obvious that it doesn't work in the transition here. Like this sounds like some yellow card or some old school alternative rock, like emo pop punk type of. Yeah, just it feels very odd with all this. I don't know if the guitar's in key. Hopefully the guitar is at least in key or in the same scale, but even if it is, it still may sound weird because of the notes being played or the chords being played. The relationship in the intervals create different emotions and feelings, and that's what we're getting here. So I would try to find something heavier and dirtier if you're going to use it. This intro is pretty long. Like it's feeling like some like Eminem recovery album type vibes with like the long elongated guitars. So like, remember, this would probably work if those vocals weren't on it and maybe the drop wasn't as heavy. Just want to match the vibe. When the drop starts, the timing feels off. Like right here, I can't tell if it's a fake out or if the drop started. As soon as we get here, it sounds cool. These wubs are dope. Keep in mind, the vocals are playing on top of the wub, so we're not able to like really tell that the wub is the main thing. The vocals, it's like kind of congested here. The start of this though is an issue. Like it's a very odd energy because, like I said, it feels like it's supposed to be fake out, but I don't think it is a fake out. I think it's just part of the drop. The drums are still there. But actually, one snare is there, and you remove the Alright, so it looks like you're trying to do a fake out here. This can't have that snare there. That one. That is telling us that the drop just started, basically. So we hear it, and then we expect the drop to continue, but then there's no more snares, so like the dancing stops. It feels very off. So remove the snare, make it a proper fake out, or make this the drop and start the energy right away. Got to pick either one. Because right now we're kind of like in the middle. It's feeling a little bit awkward. These sections, like the bubble lasers in the background, like doing their own thing, and then we have the bass doing its own thing. It sounds like they're both competing for, you know, the spotlight. So it's just congested again, sounding pretty messy. You want to like remove maybe the bubble lasers or bring them into fill sections, have them go back and forth in the song rather than playing at the same time. Or you got to EQ them a lot. You can even move stuff to the sides and put them in a space that's available. Yeah, we're gonna drink to the morning, pass out and do it again. Yeah, but this intro and this breakdown section. Yeah, the night is still young, so let the madness begin, darling. I said, where's your BB? We're in halftime, so if your arrangement's in 140 or 150, we're basically dancing at half that time. And for us to be dancing at halftime for, let's see, 36 seconds at the beginning and then 36 seconds in this breakdown, that's a long time. Yeah, we're gonna pass out. This should be a higher energy section, you know, but the energy goes down significantly. Want me to stop, but I will not. Swagger stands out to the bar, let's get the drinks in. And yeah, like that transition to the guitar just doesn't feel. Stop, but I will not. Swagger stands out to the bar, let's get the drinks in. Yeah, doesn't feel too natural. So maybe mess with distortion, cabinets, adding some more grittiness to any guitars, try to match the vibes, match the darknesses. Make sure you know what chords are playing. If you're just using an audio loop too, that can be more challenging, so just be aware. Overall, I think that's it. Oh yeah, at the beginning. The only lows we have is from that bass guitar. So the overall like low presence is minimal.
Scotty, we're gonna drink to the morning.
Just a slow bass line, not enough bass because the guitar is just not big enough. So I would try to make it more EDM, you know, less of these organic instruments and more EDM instruments. And then if you want, layer some of these organic instruments on top of the EDM stuff. But right now, this is just too... It sounds like an instrumental, you know, like an Eminem instrumental. And not the good Eminem either, the recovery Eminem. That's it. Yeah, that's about it. Good job. Nice job. Overall, like I said, this section here. These wubs are dirty. So there's a lot of potential here. We just have to arrange it in a proper way. And definitely experiment with less vocals, silence with the vocals and stuff like that. Will help. Opening up space in the mix, creating space, creating harmony. Who's next up? We got Merlin coming out with Docs. New flow. Is that Docs? With new flow? You never know about the new flow. Could be said it was like punk to dubstep rap blend. Love. Yeah, see, I love that. It hits the first snare and the verse picks up and the drums come back. How about the reverb on the main basses during the drop? Muddy it up, or was it fine? But the reverb on the main basses during the drop. Let's check.
I'm Scally and Shay, top of the morning. Dick in your girl's mouth when she's yawning. Call this the warning. No time to waste you, I'ma go all in. Who's the hardest? You're
So
the warning. No time to waste you, I'ma go all in. Who's the hardest?
So that reverb, I'm glad you bring that up because that's one of the things that is making it muddy.
The warning. No time to waste you, I'ma go all in. Who's the hardest?
It's like the reverb is making it wide, all the basses, our vocals are in the middle. So if you're going to be doing the reverb, do it in parallel so that you can have the reverb signal and you can keep that strong mono presence for the main wub, and it will be more front and center, clearer. That's going to help. This one has way too much reverb. Yeah, so just overall, the reverb needs to be managed. If you want long tails, if you want it to be wet, you have to do it in parallel because we need both signals, dry and wet. Otherwise, you have to keep that dry and wet knob really down so that it doesn't get drowned out in the signal, because then we'll lose presence. And remember, the reverb adds low frequencies too. It starts pulling things to other parts of the image as well. In parallel, yes. Do you know what I mean? I'll show you real quick what the parallel looks like. You get the reverb. Turn it up. You Command G, you group the reverb on itself. Hopefully you're in Ableton. You go to your chains. And you create a new chain. So now we have two signals playing. The dry signal, which would be the original song.
Boys, you thought we was past it, dickhead. You're gonna eat.
And then the reverb signal, which is full reverb right here. So then you turn the reverb all the way down, and then you have the original signal, and then you're blending in the reverb signal into the original. This is in parallel. They're playing in parallel together, and we keep the awesome reverb signal, but then also keep the mono presence. This is really, really important. It's what the pros do all the time. But yeah, in FL, you can do the same concept. That's what I did in high pass the reverb channel. Yeah, good. High pass the reverb. But the main thing is the vocals are competing with the basses. They're playing at the same time, and they're both leads. So you got to be like very aware of that and make sure that things are moving back and forth between each other or not clashing. if you want the vocals to play with the basses, we have to remove a lot of the frequencies and make them blend together, or vice versa. You want the basses to be the main thing. Alrighty, new flow up next. Docs. Run it. All right, that's Docs coming in with new flow. We don't got old flow. We got new flow, you know, for sure. All right, cool. So we got some rhythm things. We got some square waves coming at us. Hot in action. I got to say, the song, you know, it's okay. One of the main things is it gets repetitive very quickly. We're kind of playing the same bass over and over and over and over again. And we don't even give it a break one time in minute 45 seconds. That's a long time to play the same bass over and over again. The only thing we're changing is the speed, maybe changing the flows and the rhythmic patterns. But all right, Colby, peace out, man. You're welcome for the feedback. Have a good day. The amount of like repetitive sounds, like it's really easy to predict what's going to happen next. And if we can predict what's going to happen next, we're not going to be surprised, and the energy levels are going to just decrease over time. In the beginning, so like these first 8 bars, the bass sounds new and fresh. It doesn't sound repetitive. But once we start getting past the first 8 bars, things start to get repetitive because we don't really have any proper phrasing going on in here. When it comes to making music as musicians, we need to stick to proper phrases. So within 4 bars, there should be enough movement and changes and variation for us to want to hear the next section. The only thing that you do different here is this last gunshot. That kind of counts as like a fill here. And then we go back. So we don't really have any call. We have the whole response playing, and then we get like a little fill. So this is good. If it didn't have this, it'd be worse. So we have slight amounts of energy. That's why this can pass for the first 8 bars. Things are going well. But you got to understand too, the bass is like your sub is fat, your drums are fat, but the actual square rhythm basses, very quiet, very small, tiny, barely in the mix. It should have multiple layers to make this sound full up front in the mix. And it needs to match the intensity of the sub. Your sub is overpowering the little bass. So start layering mono, stereo, lows, mids, highs, different things like that. You can use your same rhythm patch, slightly modify it, put them together, start creating a layer stack so that it gets big. Because right now it just sounds like you're just playing one little preset and it's not big enough. You can resample it, start making new things, and getting it big. But yeah, like towards the middle and even the end, it's getting repetitive. Remember, we heard this bass already. The tone of it, like the pitch of it, the intensity of it. So if we just slightly change to a new sound, slightly change the bass and automate it, we can easily get results that are good, that keep the energy progressing over time so that we can keep dancing. So right now it's just like, you know, repeating over and over again. And that's just not going to be enough to get us, you know, pumped up and wanting to dance the whole time. Right now, the energy is highest in the first 8 bars, and it could be even higher if the main lead was louder and upfront in the mix too. That's about it, I think. I'm happy that you're switching up the flows, though. You're experimenting with different speeds and different techniques. So keep doing that. It's important. Good job on Docs with the new flow. Thank you very much. Up next, we got Rose-Covered Gas Mask. It wouldn't do. What's this cover art? This looks like some AI. That looks like some AI. It wouldn't do. Let's go. Poggers, says Jikazumo. Good job, man. That sounded very nice, very cool. It got me really feeling like I was, leaving the planet. Very ethereal dynamics. Very cool. There are some things that can be improved, like the vocals, for example, sound very distorted and they're kind of like interfering with the cleanliness and all the amazing movement that you got going on with the drop. So you want to make sure you clean those vocals up, make sure you're not distorting them too much, make sure that they are as clean as possible while still being dirty if you want them to sound gritty. The sub bass also sounds busted and too saturated or too distorted, and it's to the point where we're losing the feeling of the sub and we can just hear it. We don't always want that. We want to be able to feel that sub as much as possible. Thank you very much for the sub. Sky Blue Hands, you are Sky Blue. Killing it, dude. Killing it. Thank you. With the amount of sub that's playing, it's like so prominent in the mix. It's such a big element, so it has to be not as abrasive as it is right now. It's very aggressive, and it shouldn't be with this type of song. This isn't like a hybrid trap, dubstep song. It's more wavy and wubby and dynamic. So that sub should be cleaner, and we should feel the waves of the sine wave a little bit more. These vocals too, they're interfering with the mix. Sound a little bit distorted. I want to use EQ a lot. And then whenever you're in these filter sections, this is very nice, by the way. This should feel so good. The filtration system, our auto filter, whatever filter we're using, is creating like staticky resonant side effects, unfortunately. Like every time I use the auto filter, this happens when we're filtering certain frequencies. So right there. That shit's not clean, and we gotta fix those issues. Unfortunately, it happens sometimes. Like there. So maybe try an EQ8 instead of a filter. Usually filters have resonant knobs that you can adjust, so you're going to be looking into those things. The overall song is really loud at like -3, so you don't have to be this loud. So if you need to turn things down, start deleting things, and it gets like -6, for example, that's okay to be. But yeah, we need to clean this up. When those sounds start coming through, it gets a little muddy. So just EQ on all individual tracks. Make sure that things fit together. And then lastly, it sounds like the drop happens over here. Like you build it up and then you drop it here. It feels pretty random dropping it over here. We want there to be proper phrasing, proper song composition so that it feels like we're about to hit the drop. Building the tension and releasing the energy right on the drop is what makes it feel super impactful. And you don't want to miss on that. You want to make sure that you get that feeling. So stick to 8 bars, 16 bars, 4 bar structures. And if you're going to drop it, make sure that the timing is correct. That should be about it. Roses, good job. Yeah, try to EQ the piss out of those vocals. Yeah, the EQ can only do so much. If we're distorting it and adding all these extra frequencies that are unwanted, the EQ can't really fix that. Can only do so much. So check distortion amounts, overdrive amounts, dry and wet, drive settings. All those different things are going to, it's going to be a sensitive area at this point. So check it out. Otherwise, good job, Roses. I'm glad to hear that's what you made with the time. I know you've been working on that one, and that felt good. So good job, man. You love to see it. Rose-covered gas mask. It wouldn't do. Up next, we got It's Oddly with Feel. Real is more attractive than perfect. Those are some fine words, my boy. Put that in your cover art. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what right now. Let's go. Are you giving feedback to submissions? Yes, Ego the Destroyer in my Discord. Submissions are closed right now. All new submissions are for next stream on Monday. Live feedback. This is the section. It's on me. Let's go. You're welcome, amigo. I agree. All right, good job. That was pretty vibey. I like that. Song overall, though, was really quiet. So the overall like feeling and energy felt like there could be more. You know, when it's at proper volume, which I should let you know is like the single digits. Right now we're at negative 14 lufs in the intro, which is very quiet. Remember, like Joe Rogan talking on his podcast is negative 15 lufs. Right now, your music intro is about as loud as someone speaking in a podcast. We want it to be louder, especially if it's EDM. Really important. We hit those single digits. Your intro could be like negative 9 lefts. Your drop could be like negative 7 lefts, for example. That's what's going to sound professional. And getting it loud is fairly easy. You use compression and you use saturation. Those are your two main things to get things clearer, louder. You can pull up the existing frequencies with compression, balance out your frequencies, and add new frequencies, which would be the harmonics using the saturation. Those two things plus EQ is a good time, very good time. The drop feels lackluster because we don't have a pre-drop. So the transition from the intro to the build to the drop feels like they're glued together and they don't feel separate. So the energy levels are pretty low during that time. And it's a bad time for energy levels to be low. We need them to be as high as possible. We want to be thrown into the drop, basically. So here's like all the kicks are like going right into it. There's no dynamic shift. Remember, EDM has been using a pre-drop for a very long time now because we build the tension. It gets super loud, boom, it goes quiet for a little bit, and then bang, they get hit with all the frequencies right after the silence. And that's what adds all the impact and emotion and joy in EDM. So make sure that you don't leave out your pre-drop. It's going to be really important. You do something like that. In the drop, the vocals are playing. It sounds in key. Everything sounds right. But during this section, it kind of sounded off key. I think the chords that you're choosing here are just not fitting with the vocal. Because remember, she's singing a certain note. She's singing. We want to kind of match the vocal if we have these chords playing with it. You like that chord? That one. So just be careful. If you're going to put these in, they got to be in harmony with what's playing above it. Just kind of sounding out of key. A little bit of dissonance over there. And I think that's about it. Oh, yeah. Of course. So when we're in the drop, these basses are sick, but they're not like big enough. They're in the background. And it's sad because if these basses were like up front and center, just giving us those deep wubs, it would feel so amazing and it'd be heavy. And honestly, there's space available for that. You don't need to widen them out and put them in the background with lots of reverb or anything. It should be strong mono presence with a good wide layer up front and center. And then those vocals are all high frequencies, so they'll layer in perfectly with the low mid basses and the grunginess. We want it to sound full. Right now, it's sounding a bit empty because the lack of basses. It's like the vocalist has the spotlight and the basses, they don't get the spotlight. So remember, we're not listening to the song for the vocal. We're listening to it for the drop, for those wubs, those basses. The vocal gets repetitive very quickly. By the time we hit this last one, like when she says that last one, I mean, it's like, dang, she said it like 12 times already in the same exact way. You should at least be changing the octaves on that vocal, chopping it up, doing something so it's not as repetitive. That vocal is the main lead right now. It's front and center. It's commanding everything. Everything else is just like background support. So yeah, try to get those wubs in place, add some variation with the vocal, get things louder, make sure you're in the single digits, add a pre-drop. You know, there's some good things. And I think if you need any help, you just hit me up. I'll let you know what's good, and I can answer any questions you have. Chikazumo said cymatic sample right there. The Not a Day Goes By vocal. Check the SoundCloud description when you get to mine. Check the SoundCloud description. Okay. Lazy said, when you do mine, focus on first half for sure. Second half hasn't gotten any changes yet. Okay. When I start playing it, Lazy, let me know. Remind me again, please. For like a one time. Above the World, SoundCloud description. Okay. Brutal is up next with Above the World WIP version 4, G minor. We got the 4th version. ID from around 3 years ago. Never finished, but let me know if I should go back to this. I scratched this drop idea at the end. If anyone can guess the main inspiration behind this at the point the breakdown hits, you're an OG. Interesting. You need to get water. I'll be right back. I'm about to get down on the get down. What is this, number 10? All right, cool. Let me check if there's any broken links that have gotten fixed. Okay, cool. All right. Second, I'll be right back. We're about to get to Brutal. We are back in action. Above the world. What is the world? I don't even know. But I'll know after this song, probably. Run it. Yeah, cool. It's pretty nice. Nice vibes in the breakdown. I don't know what the inspiration comes from, but I love these festival vibes. I really do. You're really good at your chords and your melodies. Which is good. Once we get to this section, it's sounding pretty empty. It's like we had the intro, we have this breakdown, and then the breakdown just keeps getting extended. It feels pretty unnatural. Like, as soon as this happens, it really feels like the clap should start, like it should start building, but it doesn't. And it gets extended to this. So it just feels like you're adding extra sections on top, and there's not really any flow going on here. No transition to this drop. The drop comes pretty randomly after this section. This is like it feels like this buildup was like copy and pasted after this. So, you know, the buildup should be happening during this section, and then you can do a sick fake out here that's half the length, and then get into the drop. This proper composition is going to be important because we need the energy to be as high as possible. The energy was built so great, and then it starts decreasing until we get here, and then you like slowly try to add it back with the drums, and we don't even have as much energy as we used to over here. It just feels awkward. And this is okay. You know, if you're going to make something mid-tempo, like around 100, it really should be like unique and creative. The mid-tempo that's being created right now, like from Rez and Death Pact, you can see how much sound design is happening. We really can't use this anymore. I mean, we used to have the days of Complextro and Electro House and, you know, like Far Too Loud, you know, all these older artists that used to make music like this for a long time. You shine best with your harmonic, melodic elements, and we're just not getting a lot of that here. Just more basses, not too much going on. So incorporate more of your harmonics, melodics into your drop and really make something unique and new, because we don't want anything, we don't want to hear anything that we've heard already. That's important. We're always looking for that new sound, new feelings, new vibes, new flows. That's what will make us successful artists. Inspiration was Tristam Till It's Over. Yeah, I don't know what that song is. Like I said, I scratched the drop. Yeah, maybe try different BPM. See what it sounds like. Make like a future bass, something crazy. Try to add as much energy as you can. That's the goal. Up next, we got Bloodborne Rhythm 2.5 Herbivore. Very nice, very nice. Let's see what we got going on.
Master, look, I've done it. I've done it. Smashed and pounded and grounded this rotten siren into fleshy pink pulp. You filthy monstrosity. What good's your immortality now? Try stirring up trouble in this sorry state.
The sorry state? You're welcome, Bruder.
All mangled and twisted,
Good job,
with
Bruce.
every inside on the outside for all the world to see.
All right, I was not expecting all that spooky vibes. Very cool. These little fills, I love these string orchestral fills. Just feels good. Overall, there's a lot of story in this, you know.
Inside on the outside. What good's your immortality now? All rounded.
In this section where we have the lows playing, like the sub bass, feels nice and full.
Smashed and pounded and grounded. This rotten
The vocals though are so drowned in reverb.
fleshy.
Remember, we got to do our stuff in parallel. We keep the original vocal dry and mono while adding that reverb signal so that they both play together. That's the professional way to do it. That's how we learn to do it in audio engineering school. And it's the cleanest way to get your vocals to be wet and dry at the same time.
Stirring up trouble in this sorry state.
Lack of lows here. Sounds very empty. Only a clap and like a melody. A little synth playing with it. So definitely add more elements. You got to just feel those lows, mids, highs, make it feel big, full. This call. Really good. But we're losing a lot of energy. It's because the reverb on this bass here, or it might be the violin, is clashing with the rest. So see how it goes like loud, quiet, loud, quiet. You can visually see the dynamics here, which is beautiful. But the amount of reverb and the tail that it's giving is like clashing and gluing all these together when they should feel like they're going back and forth. Quiet, loud, quiet, loud. So because of that, like the tails, we gotta control our tails. It's like the tails are too long. So this could have even more energy, even more up and down, back and forth movement to make people dance harder if we get those tails tamed. Tame your tails. I love all the different basses, all the wonkiness. It reminds me a lot of Subtronics, the way we're incorporating harmonics and melodic elements in our fills and calls and layering them with our basses. It was very nice and wonky, very bouncy. We have cool variations, different basses come in. It's nice. This shouldn't sound so empty, but it does because we're missing the lows. Remember, we were just in the drop. So whenever we break down to a section like this, think of them. They're at the club. They were just dancing. All of a sudden, boom, you remove the bass for them for this long. Keep a sub bass going. Keep it boom, boom, boom. People are in the club. They're feeling the bass. You know, it's like slowly transitioning to the breakdown. And then boom. Second drop comes, but we have no pre-drop. We get to this fake out, but because there's no pre-drop, there's not as much energy. So make sure you add a pre-drop on the second drop too. Same thing with this drop. Drop doesn't feel as heavy because of the tails. So try to get as much control of those dynamics. The ADSR really is what I'm talking about. Attack, decay, sustain, release. You need to control the shape of the sound at all times for maximum cleanliness. Good job, good job, good job. Bloodborne Rhythm 2-5 up next. Lazin' by Lazy. Reminder, my second drop is exact same as the first drop. Well, looks like you get -6 points for that, mister. -6 points right off the rip. He is starting in the hole. Just kidding. Lazy, lazy, lazy. Check out our eyeball. Lazin'. Let's go in. Lazy has a track of laziness upon lazy. What shall he say next to the guy who's productive and not lazy? He shall say, you're lazy. Oh, but why? He said, because I want to outline. Let's go. Oh, there's a bubbly fizzy bubbly. Wait, you got the fizzy bubbly? Yeah. Yeah, I got the fizzy bubbly. Fizzy, fizzy, fizzy bubbly. Bubbly fizzly, bubbly fizzly. Introducing Lazy. Damn, boy. I didn't even realize the second drop was the same as the first drop. No, I was in this. Oh, good fucking job, man. You keep getting better every fucking song. So proud. Lazy's one of my students, and his progression is amazing. You're getting it done. Our submission's still open. No, they're not. They're closed, unfortunately, until next stream. If you guys want to get in my $13 tier on Patreon, you can get added to the private chat, and I give feedback like every day in there too. Just let me know if you're in the $13 tier. I got you. Lazy. This is clean. Dynamics, amazing. Just look, we go from WUB, snare, and then boom, get thrown into the break. Shit's clean. Sounds nice. We're going, moving back, forth, up and down, and most importantly, it's sounding clean. Our main sound is up front in the mix. We have good stereo presence with it. No mud. The pitching, the wobbling, the sub in harmony with the basses. This is nice. Good flow, good structure. When we get to the end of the drop, the hi-hat flow can definitely change to add even more energy and keep it progressing over time. Hi-hat gets a little bit repetitive. When it slows down here, it's like, da, da. We should slow down the hat, like, you could just start going, like, start bouncing differently, slower, maybe add some triplets, experiment, but we want to switch up the hat for sure towards the end of your drop, especially during this slower bass section. Yeah, triplets probably are going to be your best friend in that section. The overall mix sounds very good. We're at -6, -5 LUFS, good dynamics. This is what I like to see. Like if you hear the reverb tail just lasting all the way through this phrase, it sounds very clean. Use of space is good. This is awesome, man. I'm really happy to see that you made this very fast, wubby, and it's really good that I didn't even realize the first drop sounded the same as your second drop. That means you have enough variation going on in each 4-bar phrase that, like, I want to hear the first drop again, which is very good. You know, like the first drop ended, boom, I'm like still needing more of that drop. Boom, you hit it again on the second drop. I get my need. You're good to go. You could be like Eminem, do 3 drops. He used to do 3 verses. You could do 3 drops. Fuck it. This song is pretty short. Where does it go? It's 1 minute, 45 seconds. Yeah, so you could do a 3rd drop. Undoubtedly. Good job, good job. You love to see it. Sounds like an alien met dubstep. Now mine is going to sound even worse, but for real nice work. No, just Dylan. This one's dope, Lazy. Shout out Lazy, getting his grind on. You love to see it. You love to witness it. You love to be part of it. Next up, we have trance step. It may be trancey. It may be steppy. You never know till you know. Scary Larry. Trance step 11-15-24. Go. Shout out to all my OGs. Shout out to my family. My dog, Seamus. Go. Nice. All right. Two of my favorite things coming together for a harmonic function. Trance, boom, got it. Halftime drums, boom, got it. This is more like hybrid trappy drums playing. When we get here, it becomes more dubstep because of the bass. But I need you to understand, this bass that's playing, it's like barely there in the mix. The vocals and all the other elements have more of a presence than this, and that really shouldn't be the case. We're in the drop, energy should be as high as possible. We just listen to all the harmonic, melodic trance stuff. We need to focus more on the bass here rather than the vocals and the harmonics. So you're going to be mixing differently here than you do in the intro and stuff. But that bass should just be the main front and center, main spotlight, and everything else is in the background supporting it. But it's the other way around right now. So layer the bass more, focus on mono and stereo, focus on lows, mids, highs for your layers, and bring up that bass in the mix. Push everything back. This dynamic shift right here is really important. Goes loud to quiet. This needs to happen right before the drop. This little scratch to silence is too fast in time, and it's almost not working as a pre-drop. So we need to put in like a proper pre-drop here. Like listening just in this section, it sounds fine. But if you listen in full context to what happens before, it sounds abrupt and it doesn't transition too well. It should stop right there. It should not keep going right here. This is half a bar. We need the pre-drop to be a full bar. Cancel it out. This is a huge energy transition. It needs to be proper. If we got this, for example, and then of course you keep it going. Boom, drop it down. It would sound way cleaner. Way clean. Yeah, energy stuff, you know. Overall, this is pretty sick. I like it. I like the vibes. I'm glad you're putting two things together. That's what's going to get you places. For real. Producer Kill Maki said, what's up? Feedback, yes. Go into my Discord, submit if you'd like. Feedback, all new submissions will be on the next feedback stream. Good job, Scary Larry. I think someone just followed. Hold up. Just Zaylee, or just Zale, followed. Thank you very much. You're an OG. I like that. Thank you very much for that follow. You think third drop or make the second drops 32 instead of 6? No, third drop. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And then make that third drop totally unique. And boom, dude. Be a done deal. And maybe make the second drop slightly different than the first drop. You know, you barely need to do much. Maybe add a pre-drop in that one. Boom, boom, boom. Up next, we have Chronix Dubs. This was a broken link, so we are getting him back in, and he is right here. I like that whip. Let's get it done, my boy. Shout out to all the EDM people making the EDM songs. Love y'all. For real. I don't usually say that, but I'm just saying that right now. Love y'all. I just really wanna say I like that. Only wasn't right coming back. All the way you get me high, I like that. In the middle of the night where you are, I just really wanna say I like that. Only wasn't right coming back. Donuts, muffins, EDM.
I like that. Only you make me feel like coming back. All the way you get me high, I like that. In the night, where you are, I just you wanna stay. I like that. Only you make me feel like coming back. I like that.
All right, very cool. I love the vibes that we get right away because I feel like I'm at an EDM festival, about to sit down, crisscross, and enjoy myself. Hug the person next to me. You gotta understand, you're creating some really beautiful, atmospheric, transformative vibes right here, you know? And this is harmony. This is waves, dynamics. That's what music's about. But when we get into heavy rhythm and dubstep and stuff, the goal is to make things not sound harmonic and for things to sound distorted and gritty and dirty, dark. These are two opposite vibes and feelings. And right now you're trying to put them together. And it's a very difficult thing to do. And right now it's not working properly. The transition from all these melodics to the darkness, it doesn't fit. And because of that, the energy levels are very low. And on top of that, the transition includes something that's still playing in the background during the drop. In these silent sections, you can hear it. It's like the atmospheric background noise or whatever. That thing is killing the dynamics. It's being sustained and playing during these quieter sections. And it's kind of gluing everything together when it shouldn't be. There should be a distinct difference between the intro, build up, and drop for there to be maximum energy. Remember, we're going back and forth. So the two vibes, like I know you're probably adding that atmospheric background thing to kind of glue the intro with the drop, but remember, they're two different vibes. It's like a dreamy, heavenly vibe trying to match with this dark vibe. And just naturally, it's not going to work like that. So you either want to restructure your drop so it's more melodic and harmonic and maybe sprinkle in some rhythm, or do the opposite and make your intro darker and have less, major chords playing so that we can transition this properly. Because it almost feels like two different songs right now. And that is an issue. In the second drop, also, we're dancing halftime. This isn't full time. We're not able to dance to the regular BPM. We're actually dancing half the time because of the flow. You're breaking the dance every time you do this. It's not actually adding energy. It's disrupting the energy. Because it's silent and nothing's playing, it's making it slower. So we're dancing like this rather than dancing like this. We should be dancing 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But we can't. Because it keeps breaking. So like the energy keeps trying to go up and then it goes back down. Got to make sure we do proper call, response, fill. Call, response, fill will happen in 4 bars. Right now, you are doing it every 2 bars. So quickly in time, you're restarting the loop and we're losing energy because of that. Plus it's silence. So there's just too much silence involved. You got to be aware of those things. I see it's happening in the first drop too. So keep it going and then sprinkle in some of these breaks and stops. And that will help. Okay, and then the basses in general. The one. It's thin. It's not full or thick enough. So you'll want to start layering these bass leads based on low frequencies, mids, and highs. Put them all together in a stack so you have something that's full in the frequency spectrum. Once that's checked off, you can then move on to the stereo image and making sure it's full mono and wide. Stereo layer, mono layer together will make it sound full in the image. Plus all the frequency spectrum stuff will make you have one good, loud, thick bass, which could be the lead. Right now, it's not the lead. The fast thing, is almost louder than this. So just unbalanced. We want that to be the lead. We want that to be the thickest, biggest thing that's going to add a lot of energy and keep things pushing. That should be about it. You can definitely make the melodic, like if you want to keep all this, you just have to have a distinct breakdown. So it's like melodic and stuff, 16 bars or 32 bars at the beginning, and then it breaks down to almost just sub and impacts, and it's almost silence. And then you can start transitioning it to the darkness. And all the melodic stuff starts playing. It starts getting darker with the rhythm basses. You have to do bigger transitions like that if you want to make these different vibes work together in one song. That's about it. Any questions? Second drop isn't where I wanted. I was trying to blend the melodic and heavy, but I'm just not experienced enough to get it where I want. Yeah, it takes practice, but you're going to get there, definitely. So my first time trying Maelstrom, by the way. I used your tutorial. Nice, dude. Yeah, with the Maelstrom basses, usually just using it is not enough. I have to like layer it with multiple other versions of itself. Check the mono presence, check the stereo, and create like one bass out of like 4, for example, just to get it big enough. Otherwise, good job. Very nice. Like I said, these vibes, just amazing. Thank you guys all for submitting. I appreciate it. I will have some WUB videos coming soon. How to Levity, how to Dream, Tarot Gun videos coming soon. Overall, sound design tricks coming soon. It's going to be a fun time. If you guys need any lessons, private lessons, hit me up directly or schedule on my Calendly booking app. I do lessons basically every day. And if you have any questions, hit me up on Instagram or Discord so I can help you guys out whenever you need it. Otherwise, have a good night, guys. Stay fresh. Keep it real all day. See you later. Peace.